gosh. The steering does nothing. Well, it is another beautiful but hot morning here in the vicinity of Moab, Utah. So if you've watched part 1 and part 2 of this series, you saw me go out into some areas and sort of come back because that ultimately was the most efficient way to see all the stuff that I wanted to see. It worked well to sort of just keep coming back into Moab, refuel each morning. Now today I am heading off into some more sort of red rock area. Now most people do this trail that I'm on as an out and back, but on the map, it looks to me like I can get on up into those mountains that I first pointed out in the first part of this series, and then get up to some high elevation, come back down the other side to make a nice loop. The road that I'm going to take gets to 10,000 feet eventually. I don't know if I'll get there today or I'll camp someplace and get there tomorrow. I have no idea how long this is going to take. Just the drive to get out here from Moab was beautiful through this dramatic canyon, and that brings me to a point that I wanted to make. You don't have to necessarily come do a bunch of hardcore off-roading if you want to enjoy just the stunning beauty of this area. Even all the paved roads that I've been on before I've run out of pavement have just been dramatic red rock scenery, canyons, rock formations, these monumental, buttes. You don't have to get off-road at all. Or if you do want to hit the dirt, there are all kinds of Jeep rental options. There are also a bunch of tour companies that will take you out on these trails in their vehicles. There's a lot of ways to come out here and visit, even if you don't own a 4x4 or if you don't, want to set your tires on dirt. So this is Onion Creek, and apparently this trail crosses it over 20 times, maybe 25 times, and I've already lost count of how many times we've crossed it. Now I won't film every single crossing, but something like this is really cool. Even though some of these rock formations are kind of backlit at the moment, it's still really striking and dramatic and otherworldly. This is just so cool. I tell you, every single one of these trails that I've driven out here has just exceeded my expectations. It's everything that I wanted to get out of my Utah trip and more. As usual, it's all bigger and more dramatic. Oh my gosh, every corner, it's something else. And I can't possibly even film it all because I would never get through it. So you're only seeing just a small fraction of what I'm seeing, but wow, this is just cannot complain one bit. And I'll take the heat if it means these blue skies and these vivid reds. I'm loving it.
I've exited that narrow Red Rock Canyon and moved out into more open desert, flanked with hills and bluffs, but the trail continues to closely follow the creek.
Well, that was, I believe, the final crossing based on what I can see on the map. So before going across, I stopped, got myself all wet just so I can take advantage of having been next to some water on this hot day.
Even though I've left the dramatic depths of that canyon we drove through, the vivid colors and contours continue to create striking vistas, leading to this surreal moment where these badlands appear carved out of the grassy valley beyond. As the route grows more and more remote, the trail conditions are deteriorating, and while there's nothing terribly challenging, it does just make for a slow, rough ride.
to see the mountains that I'm going to. I think they're right there, but all I see is clouds. So maybe we're getting into some weather here, I don't know. Well, I just realized that we're all the way up to 8,000 feet already. It's been sort of a slow, steady climb, especially once I got onto the National Forest land. So really, somehow coming up the flanks of the mountains, although I can't really, maybe I'm seeing some mountains there. Trees are getting taller. The road is marginally better. I've got longer stretches that are nice and drivable.
Even though I've gained a bunch of elevation, I'm still further away from the mountains than I thought I would be, and I found myself traversing a vast open prairie as I continue my approach. Some motion catches my eye, but it's not wildlife. A random dog wandering in the middle of nowhere brings a moment of deja vu.
You want to go for a ride a little bit? We'll see if we can find your people.
What's up? Are you okay? You with somebody? You wanna come say hi? You alright? Are you lost? Oh, you're wet, so you must have found some water. Okay. Don't look too desperate. Okay, well, another 20 feet up the road, I saw a camper tucked off in the trees, so all good.
I'm accustomed to seeing small stands of aspen in Oregon, Idaho, and even high in the mountains of Nevada, but I've never seen such a dense and extensive forest of these white-barked beauties. And it just goes on and on.
You're just not scared at all, huh? Are ya? Okay, well, I have hit my first real routing snafu, because the map shows a road connecting right up to Geyser Pass, turning right there, but there's no road. And we are, I guess, traveling through some private land, which, well, like, this road is here and it's fine, you can travel through, but that road that I had planned on taking it's just not even there. I'm gonna have to go way back down. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I can still get up there. It's just circuitous and might put me into a little fuel trouble. I think it'll be okay, especially since tomorrow's drive should be mostly downhill. Little cowboy camp here. All right, we'll roll with it.
I've now roamed well off my planned route, but I did not realize quite how far east I've wandered. Crossing into Colorado at least gets me off the tract of private land I've been passing through and back into the national forest, where it should be a simple matter to find someplace to camp for the night. Or so I thought. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. In Utah, the designated campsites are clearly marked, but a couple hundred yards down the road, I've encountered people camped where there is no signage at all indicating it's a designated campsite.
Okay, so I veered over into this national forest land because I figured at least this way I could find some place to camp.
I saw this lake on here and numerous camping areas around it. I thought, well, even if I have to pay, that might be kind of nice to just camp along this lake for tonight. So I got here, and that's the lake. I mean, it's a reservoir, but it's almost entirely empty, and it is overrun with cattle that are just out there. There's a little bit of water. So all the signage as you come into this area is all very, you know, camp only in designated areas, stay on trails, leave no trace, pack out what you pack in. But then they run cattle on it, and these cows are everywhere, trampling everything. They walk through the water, they poop everywhere. Nothing I do is going to leave any more trace than what these cows are leaving all over the place here. And it's fine, I understand that, you know, there's always this crossover between cattle ranching and public lands, but when that's the case, man, I don't know how you can also at the same time be so uptight about, no, you can't camp here, you can only camp here, but cows can go everywhere. Hey, you, stay on the trail. Hey, can't camp there. No, you can't camp there. So I guess that campground is free. There's no pay station. None of the campsites have numbers or, you know, any place to post a tag or anything. So I guess it's a free campground, which would be nice if there was water in the reservoir. It's actually beautiful. It's really beautiful. And the mountains are visible up over there, but I don't know, just watching cows walking around in the mud. So this is not me looking for a campsite up a side road. This is me actually trying to connect over to the road that goes up to Geyser Pass without dropping so far down and having to come all the way back up. So I'm just kind of trying to skirt along the flank of the mountain here rather than go down. I can see a road that looks like it goes through, and so far so good. I'm currently at 7,600 feet here, so I am achieving my goal of being at higher and higher elevation. I've been sort of 7,000 to 8,000 feet most of the afternoon after I got out from that little Onion Creek Canyon. Okay, we are now crossing back into Utah. Flash flood warning is in effect for this area until 7:30 p.m. Dangerous and life-threatening. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding. Okay. Well, I'm trying. All the roads I've been on all week have been rocky, but of course the moment I hit a softer road is when the thunderstorm strikes. It's quickly become very slick, and I'm pausing to shift into low range so I can try to creep along and stay off the brakes. Okay, to top it off, this dirt road is like super slippery now that it's wet. I was just, oh my gosh. I've gone down into low range just so I'm creeping. I'm just, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The steering does nothing. Oh my gosh, this is insane. I was just hoping to get down to like a more main gravel road. Oh, that campground on the empty reservoir looks pretty good right now. Oh my god. This is insane. I'm just sliding sideways down the road. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get out and set up a camera for this. I'm just going to focus on... Oh my god. You can see this is the kind of mud we're dealing with. It just kicks up and then you've just got no grip. At
least it's less stormy looking that way, and that's the way the road goes. It does seem to be that type of dirt that gets really slick and snotty when it's wet, but that also dries out really quickly when it stops getting wet. Like I'm less underneath the cloud and the road already looks, I'm still sliding. Whoa, spoke too soon.
Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not only is this the only soft dirt road I've seen all week, I'm in the middle of a very recent burn. Burn scars are prone to flash flooding, so that explains the alert I received.
Well, this is not the kind of road I like to be on when it's super slippery. Oh, come on. Sun is out, sort of. There's a little bit of grit in the road here also, so it's feeling drier and grippier.
Reviewing the map and the timestamps on my video files, it took me an hour and a half to drive 10 miles on this slippery mud before finally hitting a solid gravel road. I ended up so close to the highway that I decided to just air up and find someplace more rocky to camp.
There are the mountains I was gonna be in tonight. Here's where I actually am. Now, I'm not complaining. This is an awesome campsite. It's very Utah. This is a free designated site on Utah state lands. And I love these red rocks and this view out over the desert. And the sun's trying to give us a little bit of a show tonight. So when I finally got off that dirt road and onto a gravel road, I took a look at the map and I saw this area of state land that had some designated campsites on it. And then tomorrow morning, I'll drive into town once again, fuel up once again, and then I will take a nice normal road up into the mountains. And I don't yet know what I'm gonna make for dinner tonight, but I promise you it's gonna be something very, very simple and easy. I am exhausted.
As usual, I'm up before the sun so I can get camp packed up before it gets any warmer. I'm gonna go fuel up and then take another shot at getting up to higher elevations. There's still a lot more to come in this series. Be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an episode. And thank you for watching.